Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys do not know me, it's your first time here, I'm Max. I'm the owner and creator of MB Crafts. I'm 18, I'm from Wisconsin, and I'm the home owner and designer here at MB Crafts. I'm MB Creations on here, but my business name is MB Crafts. Today we're going to do a showstopper design. I know if you follow me on TikTok or Facebook, I've been showing off this cute little reindeer, and I cannot wait to show you guys what we're going to do with him. He's going to be so cute, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're new. And give me a comment below when you think about the design when we're done. We're going to use this glittery. Wow, it's showing up really glittery on here. This was a little stake that you stick in your yard, but I cut it off because I just want the sign, obviously. And then we're going to be using a 14-inch evergreen base from Hobby Lobby. We're going to be using some mesh. I've got some 10-inch mesh here with the foiling, and then I have a red that we're going to cut, and I will show you what we do with that. And then I've got a slew of fun ribbons, and I'm sure we're going to add picks and stuff in this. This is going to be a showstopper design, so make sure you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy this tutorial. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 14-inch base, and we're going to kind of just like fluff it out. So just kind of rub your fingers. Right now the pine needles are all kind of flat down. We kind of want them to kind of stick up a little bit, because what we're going to use is these are all wiry, and we're going to use those to help tie in all our mesh and get our base nice and full and ready to design on. So just kind of bring it all together. So now you can kind of see that it's a little bit more full, and it's like ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our 10-inch mesh. This is a 30-yard roll, or 10-yard roll, 30 feet. And we're going to cut this with our rotary cutter at about 17.5 inches. And you're just going to cut all of this, okay, 17.5 inches. And then what you're also going to do is you're going to take your 21-inch mesh. I'm going to use red for this one. And you're going to, this is a good way to use your scraps up. But you can also use a brand new roll if you want to. And then we're going to just cut these at, about 22 inches, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. Literally, you can just randomly, I'm not even gonna measure, I'm just gonna randomly cut. You're not gonna see it, and you're not gonna know what you cut it at, and you won't be able to tell that different pieces are different. So I would not stress over the fact of measuring your 21-inch mesh. Honestly, you wouldn't even have to measure your 10-inch mesh, but sometimes for me it's just easier just to do that. But you would not have to. But yeah, we're just gonna cut this, and we're gonna be doing something with this here in a second, and you'll see that when we're done. So now that you have your mesh cut, you're gonna take your mesh and you're going to start with the curl side up. So you want it so that when you put your mesh like this, you don't want it to curl up. You want it to be kind of the curl side down, I guess, is what you want it to be. Basically the pretty side. You can kind of tell the pretty side where you could cut it and where the back is. So you're going to take it and you're going to go in the middle and you're going to ruffle with your fingers. Basically, you're going to take your fingers and you're going to walk up the mesh. Okay, I'll show you guys that. And then I take these clips from the Dollar Tree. Okay, they come in the crafting section, and I clip them shut. So you're going to start in the middle and you're just going to walk your fingers up like you were pretending like your fingers were human legs. Best description I can give you. And then just ruffle, 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 ruffle. So you're gonna do that with all of your 10-inch pieces. Once all your ruffles are ruffled up, we are going to start attaching them to a wreath. I like to start on the bottom of the wreath, and then I work my way to the top. So I basically am gonna just take them and tie them into my base using the ties from my wreath frame. And then I'm going to take these, you guys, and I'm going to ruffle up both sides like a curl. So basically it's two curls like this, and then I'm going to bend them in half, okay, like that, okay, and then I'm going to stick that in my wreath, okay, and tie it in there. Tie these a couple times, y'all, because you don't want these things coming out, okay, and then kind of stick them in there like so. See that? See how that looks? Looking good. Okay, next up, y'all do not mind. I have not done a YouTube video in so long. I apologize. I have been just so busy, and if you guys do not know, the filming is not the hard part. It's like the editing for me, and I just don't have time. So I'm trying to get back in it. I'm trying to upload, I want to upload a new tutorial like every 2 weeks or something. I would love to do it more often, but I know that I don't want to set a goal that's not realistic because I just know I'd fail. And when I set a goal, I want to actually live up to my goal and actually like achieve it. So I feel like every 2 weeks could be more of a realistic goal, but you never know. Right now it's super busy. I'm getting ready for a craft show on December 10th. So working on that. If you guys are not already following me on my other social media accounts, definitely go follow me over on Facebook at MB Crafts. And then I'm also on TikTok at MB Crafts by Max. I will post my link tree in the description box so you guys can go check it out. I go live on TikTok like almost every night. We've got almost 50,000 followers over there. And I go live on Facebook. I try to go live at least once or twice a week on Facebook. We are almost at 15,000. I actually was just looking at it, and we surpassed 14,000, which is like mind-boggling because I swear we just passed 12,000. And then we just passed 13,000. Now we're almost to 15,000, like crazy. But yeah, so you're just gonna do this all the way around your base, you guys. I don't want to show you guys the whole thing because I know it gets boring and I don't like to watch long tutorials either. So what you're basically gonna do is just do this all the way around. I'll show you guys what we do to the bottom base, and then you're gonna do exactly what we did to the bottom base to the top. So pretty simple. Repeat the steps from the bottom to the top and just alternate. If you guys wanted or doing a different color scheme or something, you could definitely use different colored meshes too, and more than like 2. Like if you wanted to have 2 2.5 or 2 21-inch meshes, like the red is a 21-inch, you could have alternated. You could have had multiple different 10-inch rolls. So see how we just kind of have our base kind of started. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna come in here and you're gonna do the same thing, but to the top. So then I like to alternate it again, but then I like to fill in the gaps. You can kind of see where right here is where this was. So I'm gonna put this right here, okay? And then I'm going to, okay, that's not wanting to work out for me, so let's just pull it. This is why it's very important to twist it multiple times, because you want it to go in there good. And then the only thing that's different for this one is, up here, this is kind of the tail, this is kind of the head. You have the tails on the bottom and the head on the top. Here you kind of go sideways, okay? Because it covers more. So then where the red is, you'd put a green. So kind of just to alternate it so it's not too next to each other. And then once you have the whole base done, you may find a couple areas, like maybe right here, that you would see that's a little bit more bigger and not covered. You can squeeze some mesh in there. So just kind of fill it up. It's not like a wire work form where it has to be like every tie. You can just kind of fill it up as much as you want. Remember, the more you put, the more full your wreath is gonna be. So now that our base is really stuffed, I also did like a center layer. I went into the actual inside ring and I added more mesh just because I want it to be nice and full. So I have this going. But since our attachment is kind of big, and I also want to add a bow and a bunch of other stuff on here, and our attachment's kind of already filling up the wreath, I want to go in here, you guys. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to like shove this. I'm going to like bend it and make it more oval, okay? See that? So now we can kind of have more space, you know what I mean? We can kind of go here with our little reindeer guy, and then I can kind of go like here with our little light bulb. I'm gonna put a bow here, maybe a bow there. I really want this to be a very big showstopper design. So I guess now what we gotta do is we gotta go in here and add our stuff. So I went in here and actually already stapled our sign together with our pipe cleaners because I knew that it was gonna take a little bit to dry. So I did that already. I just used a staple gun and I stapled 2 pipe cleaners in here. Make sure that your staples are not longer than your wood thicknesses, because you don't want the staples coming through the front. If it is, just put some foam or cardboard or felt or something underneath it that will make it a little bit thicker, so you don't want those staples sticking out the front of your sign, okay? So we're gonna sit here and we're gonna attach our little sign onto our base using the pipe cleaners. We are going to attach them around the actual metal frame of the wreath, okay? Don't just go around a piece of mesh or a piece of greenery go around the actual metal frame. That way you know it's not going anywhere. Because that mesh could easily come loose and then your whole sign falls off. This metal frame, it ain't going anywhere unless someone snips it or something else happens, but I've never had a problem with it, so. Okay. That looks good. I'm gonna probably stick some glue under there eventually, but I don't want to do that until I know for sure that that's where it's gonna go, because I could hate to do that. And then, that's so cute like that. Okay, this came with pipe cleaners on it already, which is perfect. This was made by Designs by Jordan, TX. He does an amazing job, and I'm super excited about it. Super excited. I know I'm not your most professional YouTuber, but at the end of the day, I just act myself, and I am myself, and that is what I strive for. And I always say, like, why act different if that's not who you are? Because at the end of the day, you are who you are, and people should find you. But I know people act so much more professional when they're doing YouTube videos, but if you come on to a TikTok live, you're not gonna get that, like, I mean, I'm professional, but you're not gonna get that person who doesn't, like, what cuss words come out. You know, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and that's what I think really helps me grow my business, is, like, people follow me and want to support my business because they see who I am as a person. And sometimes that's what it is in business. There's so many people that not only just make wreaths, but there are so many different businesses, and the way your business stands out from the rest is by basically your personality and the way you are and how you run your business and all that sort of stuff. So I just stay true to who I am, and I don't change or act or pretend like I'm someone who I ain't. Because at the end of the day, I'm Max, and this is how Max is, and some people may not like it, but guess what? Then those people are not your real supporters, and at the end of the day, you know what? That doesn't bother me. I know that I'm not for everyone, and not everyone is for me, so I just do what I gotta do, you know? So I'm just gonna stick some glue under there, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a secureness to it. I know it's probably not gonna go anywhere, but you know me, y'all, I'm a secure freak. So I'm loving the way this is turning out, y'all. Loving. Y'all might not be like, oh, that's too much, or I wouldn't have put the light bulb on there, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna go big or go home, and I love a nice big full fluffed wreath. Okay, that's so cute, you guys. Let me tilt you guys up a little bit so you guys can see it. How cute is that? That's adorable. Okay, so what I thought about doing is, I don't know, because y'all can see how this like little banner thing jiggles. I thought about possibly like gluing it down so it can't go anywhere, but we're gonna see at the end, and we might do that at the end, okay? So what we're gonna do now is, I don't want you all to go crazy, fall over on me, but we're gonna make a bow, but we're not gonna need a very big bow, because guess what? We don't got a lot of room on the wreath for a big bow. So I think what we might do is just add a smaller bow. I do want to add this 4-inch ribbon, but at the end of the day, 4-inch ribbon is a little bit big. So we might just add a small little bow. I really don't want to cover up this because I want people to know what this actually is. I don't want it to look like just a green, like, green circle or green oval. I want them to know it's actually a Christmas light. So I don't think I want to cover that up. But if you did a different sign or something, you could definitely cover that up. But I think that is really kind of important. Ooh, it would be kind of cute to have a little bow tie. So you guys are getting the real inside scoop of my business and how I run my business, like, and how I design, really. Not really how I run my business. Right now, this is in the designing stage. But some people will come on and they'll put on a show pretending like they actually know what they're doing, when 9 times out of 10, they're literally just designing on the spot. Like, I did not plan this before I got on here, you guys, like, not one bit. I'm literally just going with the flow and seeing how I want this. So now that I know how big I want it, I can actually stick this down in my bow maker. I just wanted to kind of hold it up to see how I do it, but you guys, I usually have no clue how I'm going to do my wreath until I actually start making my wreath, and then I'm kind of like, oh, I like that, or oh, I like that, or ooh, I don't like that. So that's really how it is. There is not really a technique to it. It's kind of just, you kind of just start designing. You usually have an idea when you start, and half the time, most 90% of the time actually, not even half, more like 90% of the time, your wreath looks completely different, or I don't think there's ever been a time where my wreath looks exactly like what I thought it was gonna look like before I made it. Because usually sometimes you forget about a certain thing, or you think something's not gonna be as big as it is, and then once you put it on there, it's like, whoa, I don't even have as much room as I thought I did. So you usually never, you can have like a vision on how you want it, and usually you want a vision just so you can kind of get a start on it. But then at the end of the day, you usually don't know exactly what it's gonna look like at the end. And like, I'll pick out supplies that I don't even end up using because it's just like, oh, I don't need those supplies in the wreath, or oh, I thought I was gonna like those, but I actually don't think I want to add those. And that's totally fine. I want you guys to let me know in the comments if you guys are wreath makers, or if you're trying to be a wreath maker, or you're just getting started, or you're just like, I'm just here for you, Max. I just want another tutorial to watch. Some people watch me just because they love to watch me, and they don't even care. They're not even here to learn how to make the wreath. They just love to hang out. And this wreath will be going to my craft show. And then if it doesn't sell there, it will be on my Etsy shop. So my link to my Etsy shop will be in the description box below as well. And I think I can't remember. Honestly, it's been so long since I've been on YouTube, but I don't even know if I have, like, on my homepage, if my link is there or not. If it is, it is. If not, I'll have it below. Like I said, I honestly don't even know the last time I made a YouTube video, which I apologize, because I got a lot of loyal subscribers that are amazing. So I'm trying to get back in the swing of things, y'all. I just started not just started, but since I've made my last tutorial, I've started college. My business has gone bazooka. It's been crazy. It's like, I don't even know what that word meant, but it's kind of sounded like a cool word, so that's why I said it. It's just been crazy. My business is just like blown up, and I'm here for it. I'm grateful for it, but that just means that I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of the videos. It's easier to go, it's sometimes just easy to go live and just hang out, because you don't have, once you just go live and then that's it. Here you can, it's easy to hit that follow, or that like, or that, sorry y'all, I literally am all over the place today, to hit that record button, but then you actually have to go back in and edit it, and then you actually have to upload it. And sometimes I have edited videos that like I've had done, but they just don't upload to YouTube for whatever reason. They like get halfway through the editing process and then they fail, and then it says, sorry, it can't be uploaded. And it's like kind of irritating. It kind of ticks you off sometimes. It's like, I put all this time and effort into it for it to not even work, and then no one can even see it. So that's why I'm like, honestly, at the end of the day, sometimes it's nice just to go live on Facebook, because you go live. I don't need to have it, like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Nothing here is perfect. If you're looking for perfect, you're in the wrong place. I try to teach you guys what I'm learning and what I'm doing, but sometimes, you know, when you get so into your craft, sometimes you just get in the zone. So I try to leave my YouTube videos more open for, like, you know, more of my tutorial type, because some people come in my lives and like, I want to know how you did that or how you did that, and I'm always like, just go to my YouTube channel. You can always go back and watch the videos. They're on there forever, and it's easier for you to just do that. But yeah, so let me know in the comments how you found me, if it was on YouTube, if you follow me on TikTok, if you're like, oh, I've been watching you on Facebook, if you found me here on, or someone was like, oh my god, you need to go check out this dude. Let me know. It's interesting to see, and interesting to see how everyone finds you, because like there are so many different ways and different platforms that I'm on, and sometimes it's word of mouth, sometimes it's like, oh, you found me on one social media platform and then you go follow me on the other, which I hope you all do, because everyone is different. I'm on almost all the main social medias besides Pinterest, which everyone tells me I need to get on Pinterest. I just never understood Pinterest. I don't know why, but I just never understood Pinterest. And y'all, at the end of it, after doing this, I don't know if I even like where that bow is. I don't know. I think I kind of want to tilt my reindeer, and I want to actually put my bow up a little bit more. I don't like how much my bow is covering my light bulb. I want you to be actually to see the light bulb, because at the end, after you're done, if you can't see it, I don't know what. Then I'm kind of the person that's like, if you're not gonna see it, well, what's the point of putting it in there? It's kind of like buying an expensive colored paint to paint on your wall just to go over and paint it a different color right after. it's kind of like, well, what's the point of wasting the money on that if you're not going to see it? So that's kind of what it's like. That's why I always do when I do my wreaths. If I'm going to put a bow somewhere, I don't put ribbon in that tail, because what's the point of putting a bow over ribbon if you're not going to see that ribbon that you put down? So if you're going to put a bow there, you might as well not even put anything underneath it, because you're not going to see it. And then, yes, it may be because every dollar that you add into your wreath, you'd have to charge more for, or it's just more money that you have to spend on it. And I'm always the person just like, why spend money on something you're not going to see? You can spend that money on something else that you could have added to make maybe a more expensive sign, or added a designer ribbon into it, or just not added anything else into it, but just not had such a higher priced design. So I always look at it that way, you guys. Like, what's the point of putting something in your wreath if you're not going to see it? I don't know. Everyone designs differently, but that's just kind of how I am. So I'm still debating if I like this or not. I honestly, to be honest with you, I'm not really vibing with this design bow. I just don't like it. And y'all are getting the completely honest, like, this is literally what it's like as Max as a designer. Like, I don't sit here and I'm not going to edit these parts out, because honestly, I want you guys to know, because I know when I first started, this is my problem. And we're just going to have a little chit-chatty chat. And what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to actually cut this bow off, and we're going to make a little funky bow. I just don't think I like the tails. I think I want the tails to be different. So I want you guys to know that as us designers, and I know some designers do this, and I think it's kind of dumb, and I know I see some designers that are like, oh, they want to look like they know what they're doing, but sometimes, you guys, we have mistakes just like you. So I know when I first started, I'm like, well, no one else has these mistakes, so it has to just be me. Like, why does nothing look good? Or like, every time they do it, it always looks good the first time. Trust me, sometimes I go designs, and I'm just like, I don't like that at all. So it's not just you, okay? And that's why I think it's important to show this. I know some designers or some YouTubers or whatever crafters that do videos, if it doesn't end up turning out the way they wanted, they'll either not post it, or they'll edit out the part that didn't work, and then they'll edit in the part that did work. And I think that's actually stupid, because, hey, we're here to teach people what we're doing and our craft, but then we're trying to make it look like we're perfect and we don't make errors. And then when I first started, I must not be good enough, because, like, they don't ever have mistakes, because you don't know that, because they edit it out. You don't ever see their mistakes. But I want you to know that if someone tells you that they don't make mistakes, they are a liar, and they need to grow up, honestly. And that's coming from me. And I'm coming from an 18-year-old. I'm like, people look at me and they're like, you're 18, what do you know? I know a lot. But I want you guys to know that not everyone is perfect, and not every design you do. Sometimes I have designs that I make and I'm like, I don't like that. So I'll either have to go back in and redo it, or I just throw it in my back room and I get to it on a rainy day, which I know I'm never going to probably end up getting to. But it's okay to make mistakes. Just use them as a learning curve, and not everything's going to look perfect the first 2, 3, 4 times, and it's all about learning and growing. And I think it's important to show you guys that sometimes you make things and you think they're going to look good, and then you realize that they don't. And this is a prime example. So don't think that us designers that are higher up, or I don't really even like that word, because, like, I think we're all creative in our own ways. This isn't like a professional sports team where there's the best person in the league. But some people look at the people that are, I guess you would just say the people that have been doing it longer. I don't think you should compare people because they have more followers than others. Like, none of that matters to me. I'm not here to get the most followers. I'm here to spread joy and positivity, and just share my craft with others to get other people inspired to design and make beautiful things for their house, or to even start their own business. Like, hey, if I went to found these videos from like all these other crafters, I don't know if I would have ever started my business, because I don't think I ever would have known that there actually is a whole thing out there where you can actually sell your designs. Like, I didn't know you could I knew you could do this, but I didn't know there was a whole industry out there of people that actually do it. So I think that this bow might hopefully be a little bit better for me. If not, you know, we make another mistake. But I just was not feeling that last bow. I was just kind of like, ugh, it's not really my forte. It's really not, wasn't really sparking my eye. And like I said, that's totally fine. I think I'm gonna like this bow a little bit better because I know I'm liking it better just by kind of looking at it. I'm gonna have to cut these tails down, which is totally fine. I think this bow is gonna be better. It depends on the bow, y'all. Sometimes you don't want those big tails that are crazy, crazy. Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. It all depends on the design, what else is in the design. So, there you go. And I hope you guys learned something that you don't always have to worry about. There, that looks so much better, you guys. I love that. I love that so much better. It's more airy, and it's honestly more whimsical. I like the whimsical looks of my designs, you guys. Sometimes you don't want that more, you don't really want that traditional bow where it's like a bow and the two tails. Sometimes you want those tails coming out from different angles and different parts of your design, so, of your bow. So, we're gonna make some tails now just to bring in some more of our ribbon, kind of scatter it around our design equally. Okay, so we're gonna add just a tail, and like I said, everything we tie in here, except for like our big objects, we're just gonna use our ties from our actual wreath. So we don't need to actually zip tie these in or anything. We're literally just going to use the tie from the wreath, and I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm thinking about getting a tripod to go above the actual, on the ceiling, so it looks just straight down. I think that would be super cool because it would be easier for you guys to see. I just gotta do that. My dad's very crazy about drilling things into the wall and all that fun stuff, so I have to make sure it's okay with him. So that's why I've never done it yet, just because I feel like I know what his answer is gonna be, but you know, maybe I can convince him. But look at how we just added that ribbon there. It kind of starts to bring the look of our ribbon and stuff all throughout the design, and it kind of starts to feel more put together. So I just added some glue underneath there because I want those to be stuck on there and I want them to not move. Okay, super cute. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add some more ribbon. So you're just gonna start by adding your big pieces first. That's how it goes, big pieces first. And then you're gonna go in and you're gonna add your ribbon, okay? And then you're gonna go in and you're gonna stuff it full of picks and sprays and florals and whatever else you want to, or you don't even have to do that, but you wanna get your bigger items in first before you go in. It's a lot easier to add the ribbon now than when it's stuffed full of other things and you have to like work around it. More challenging at that point. Okay. Whoops, whoopsie whoopsie. You know, when you got a big wreath, you sometimes likes to go flying. Okay, so we're gonna snip our tails. I like my tails a little bit longer, and then I can always cut them down. It's a lot easier to snip the ribbon off than add the ribbon back on. Okay, and I like to just use the same ribbons that are in my bow, because then it kind of brings it all together, and it kind of all complements each other. So you know how we just added that like that? Super cute, super cute. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna do another one of those with that ribbon. Okay, same thing we just did with those two ribbons. And then we're gonna come up on the top and we're gonna do one more with the 4-inch ribbon and then the same 2.5-inch ribbon. So I kind of alternate them like we did with our mesh. We did the green and then the red and then the green and then the red. We're gonna alternate the 2.5 and the 1.5 and the 4 and the 2.5. So you get what I'm trying to say. I hope my words make sense to you. This kind of helps create your outline too. And I like the reason I keep my tails a little bit longer is because once you get all your picks and sprays and everything in it, they kind of start to cover up your ribbon a little bit. And if you have them real short, after you get everything in there, you can't see your ribbon. And like I said, I'm a sucker about not adding things that you're not going to see. So that way, once it covers up a little bit, there's still enough to be able to see it at the end. Okay. Now this ribbon right here is just the coolest ribbon ever, and I love it. It's like a velvet, and then it's kind of almost got like another ribbon sewed on top of it. Because I've had this actual ribbon print by itself, but it's kind of sewed on top of it, which is super cool. They just came out with that design recently, and I'm loving it. Let me know in the comments if you guys are a sucker for 4-inch ribbon. In the beginning, it kind of scared me because I'm like, ooh, that's some big ribbon. Plus, it was a little bit more expensive, but now I'm like, oh, I love that stuff. Because it's just so much, it's so easy to work with, not gonna lie. It's so easy to work with, and it literally makes your designs 10 times better, not gonna lie. Sorry y'all, I swear, sometimes I talk and I sound like I'm actually stupid when I talk, because like, not gonna lie, like what is that gonna do? I don't know, it's just how I talk, and sometimes when I try not to say it in a video, I say it more. So, I'm honestly just trying to start to do more of my YouTube videos as like pretending like I'm just talking to you guys like I'm on a normal live. Because I've like watched my replays sometimes on, not replays, but on my YouTube videos on YouTube. And I sometimes feel like I just kind of am awkward because I don't really know what to talk to, because I don't have like actual chat to like read. In like a normal live, you would have like a chat to read and everything. Here you don't. So I don't want it to sound like I'm just talking to the wall. So I kind of just talk to you guys like I'm talking in a normal live. So you know how I just added that up there, and then we added that one down there, and then that one down there, and that one down there. So that looks really good. I'm thinking about adding, I think I want to add some down here because I think it looks a little awkward if I don't have any kind of down here along the bow. It kind of looks a little lost. So I'm gonna add a little bit, but not a whole lot. I don't want it to take away from my bow, but I also want it to kind of, you know. And the reason why I chose this ribbon is I love the tan, and it brings out the tan in our reindeer. So that's the reason I brought it. Plus it's like really whimsical and cute, and I loved it, so that's another reason. But the main reason was because I wanted it to kind of bring out the tan. So it kind of worked its magic both ways. Okay? So color choice is very important. And sometimes, even if that ribbon that reindeer wasn't tan, I still think it would look good because it's got enough of that color in their actual ribbon. And I think it would look good in like a very whimsical wreath that had no tan in it, because it would kind of lighten up, and it would make it so that sometimes when you get so many bright colors and it's kind of crazy, sometimes it gets lost in there, and there's so much going on that it's just kind of like, oh, there's so much color, I don't know what to look at anymore. And so sometimes you want those lighter colors, or those like colors that are just like, may just be a random pop. But remember that if you are going to add a random color in your design, make sure you add enough of it that it's not awkward. Like, don't just add one piece of the ribbon. If you're going to like pretend like there was no tan, I wouldn't just stick one in and just call it a day. I would make sure there's enough in it that it looks like it was part of the design and not just kind of like thrown in there like randomly. So, I hope y'all are learning some things from me. Okay. So we're gonna stick this guy right here, and then we're gonna call it a day on the ribbon. I love to add ribbon into my designs, and all of my ribbon is wired, in case you guys were wondering. I only use wired ribbon in my wreaths and swags and everything, pretty much. Really, I don't really have any ribbon down here that's non-wired, besides a couple things that I use for different things, like that I don't really do with much, but literally everything that I have pretty much is wired, just because it holds its shape better, it's higher quality. Like in a bow, if it's not wired, it's just floppy and it just looks tacky. I laugh when I go to those stores and they're selling the bows that are not wired ribbon, and they have to shove a piece of plastic in the loop to keep the loop from drooping down. Like, that just makes me laugh sometimes. It's actually so funny. Okay, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this guy over a teeny bit, because I feel like he's kind of on top of him, and I don't want them to be on top of each other. Okay, we're going to go right here. That will actually be perfect. There we go. Much, much better. Much, much better. Okay. I'm going to tighten that a little bit so it doesn't go anywhere, and then push it in there. Okay. Perfect, perfect, okay? So now the ribbon kind of goes all the way down, and our design is actually turning out super cute. Anyone else like have a really good idea in their head and then they get nervous that it's not going to turn out the way they want it to turn out? I'm not gonna even lie to you guys. I was starting to freak out a little bit with that bow situation. I'm like, oh God, I hope this works. So I'm gonna grab some picks and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a bunch of fun picks and all balls and all these fun things. So I want to start off by using these that I think are so fun. They're so whimsical and I think they would look amazing in this design. So I'm basically just going to take them and rip them. So I'm not going to just shove this entire pick into this wreath. That would look tacky, tackier than tacky. Okay, so I'm basically just going to break them apart, and I'm literally, since I don't have my glue skillet on, I'm going to just glue them in here, okay? So I'm just going to take them and just kind of like stick them in there, okay? I think I'm going to do white down here to bring out, so if I do a green next to there, I think it's going to blend in too much with the little light bulb. So I want this to be very whimsical, very festive. Okay, I love the look of that. But yeah, you definitely would not have to add these in here if you didn't want to. Certainly not needed. I do want them all to go the same direction though. I think that looks very cool. Okay. I'm gonna stick one here because it's not quite too far away from our thing, but I'm not gonna put one behind our bow because you're not gonna see it. But I'm gonna put one more over here. So I just like to go all the way around, spread them around, spread the love, right? Okay. And then look how fun that looks in there, y'all. Just by adding those little picks in there, it kind of is so cool. Look at that. So cute. So cute. Okay, next up on the old list is I have these little fun things that I thought would look really cute in here too. I don't know if I want to add them yet. We'll see. I can always pull them off and then decide no, but you never know if you don't try it, right? Go for it, y'all. You only live once. Okay. I think they're cute, but I don't know for sure if I want to add them yet. Even when the hoodie on, would you look? I don't think I want to add them. I think I already have enough with the curls, the other curls. Okay, so now what I have is I have these cute light bulbs. Y'all, I'm just obsessed with all the light bulbs. The light bulb action in this design. We're just gonna add them all in there. I don't know what happened to my, oh, here he is. Okay. These came from Michaels. They are foam. Okay. I think that they were gonna be super cute in here. I think I want to add a white one, like right down into here. Oh, that's adorable. I think I want to add a red one down into here. Oh, that's gonna be so adorable, you guys. Literally so adorable. So adorable. I hope this inspires you guys to go out and start and make something cute for either your door or just gets you in your creative mood, y'all. Like, it's so fun to be creative, and it doesn't, you just, for me, it come naturally, but honestly, y'all, when I say be creative, I'm not saying you have to go out and actually, like, you don't always have to make wreaths. Like, being creative is so versatile, like, it's crazy. Y'all, there are so many ways to use your creative brain, and everyone has one. You just gotta find it. So that could be crocheting, that could be cooking, that could be anything. You might be a photographer. There are so many ways to be creative besides just like making a wreath. Like, I feel like when people hear someone say like, oh, you need to be more creative, they automatically think that they need to, like, you know, you have to like be crafty. There's so many more ways. Like, being creative can be like cooking, like creating creative dishes, baking. That's being creative. Like, there are so many more ways to be creative than by just making a wreath or painting a picture or gluing some things together. Like, you have to just kind of go with it and just kind of, ooh, that's cute in there too. I like that. I love that. I'm kind of putting these in clusters today. Just the way this wreath was kind of put together, I kind of love the clusters that I'm putting together here. And you know what, I'm gonna go with it. If I like it, you know what? Why not go with it, right? And I'm just, if you guys see me, I'm just like breaking my picks down. I'm literally just taking them and ripping them. Some of them you can rip easily, some of them you probably can't. You have to just, you can either just cut it. But yeah, don't see a full, like huge pick and think, oh God, I have to like use the whole thing in its entirety. Don't, y'all. Sometimes they would look tacky. Like I think it would look really tacky if you shove this entire pick, shove it out of the wreath. Like that would look super tacky. Just saying, super tacky. So don't do that. Cut it down and spread it. Like I say, spread the love. That's super cute up there. Okay, I got one more because I want a couple more spots for it to go. That's just because this is what it looks like in the beginning. You can get 3 of them out of here. So 1, 2, and then 3. Because these are just paper. They're paper wrapped picks. And those are my favorite because they're easy to break apart. Easy, okay? And your one thing is once you start designing, you kind of have, you draw like a map, or you kind of lay out your foundation, and once you get to a certain foundation, you don't want to have a random pick that's going to come out. So you want your picks all to be in the same, about the same length, and all kind of flow the same. If your pick is going to come out this far, and this is how big my farthest pick is, nothing else around here should be that long. You would not want to come in here and pretend, I know this doesn't even like match our design, but you would not want to come in here, pretend like this is a big, goofy, fun pick. Obviously it doesn't match, but you would not want to go like this. I'm trying to figure out a good way to do this, like this. You would not want to go like this. And just shove that out of here like that. Like that looks so tacky, right? Because it's too long. If you were to do that, you would want more of them to go all the way around in a circle, okay? So it's kind of like, once you have like a base going, you want all of them to be around that base, okay? Okay, I have one more of these, and I'm thinking about just like kind of tucking it back here because it looks like there's a little gap. So you don't want any gaps. You want it to kind of be uniform all the way around. Okay. And you don't have to glue everything in right away. If you're like kind of nervous about gluing things in right away, you're kind of like, oh, I don't like to just shove things in right away because I'm not sure how I'm gonna like it. Don't have to, guys. Definitely just kind of, I like to sometimes just place things in too and see how I like it. But honestly, you guys, I kind of think this wreath is so pretty without like all those picks in it. And I don't want to add any more in here, to be honest with you. I think that the more you add into this design, it's going to be kind of too much, and it's kind of going to be like, it's going to start to look not good. That's the best way I can say it. Like sometimes when you put too much in a design, it's kind of like, ooh, now there's too much. But like, I had different things, like I said before, that I had picked out that I didn't even use. Like I picked these candy canes out, so I'm like, you know, maybe I might need them. I picked out these glittery balls, so I'm like, you know what? I might like those in there. Y'all saw me try to use these. I was like, oh, they could be cute, and they would be cute in this design, but they don't need them. Sometimes there's a point where it's like, it would be either cute, or it would need them, or there's a point where it's like, you don't need them. Yeah, they may be cute in the design, but do they need them? If you're like, oh, if you like look at it and you're like, oh, did it even do anything to the wreath? If it's not going to do anything to the wreath, then what's the point of putting it on there, right? So, I think this design is done, y'all, and I think it turned out so cute. I love how big our little guy is, and I love how it kind of overlaps. It kind of like brings it together, and I love our simple bow, and I love how we kind of just added those little picks in there. We kind of added like little clusters. See how we did the cluster there? And then we had the cluster with the light, the little, like the light bulb, and then the little swirly in the pick, and another one here, And another one, where's our other one? Oh, down here. So those are super cute. I love how we added those little clusters in there, and it really kind of brought out that like light bulb design. I love how we had the light bulb ribbon, the light bulbs on here, the light bulb here, light bulb here. We kind of have a light bulb action going on. And I do think I want to go in here and I want to glue this guy down. I just don't like how they like kind of jiggle around like that. I kind of want them to be kind of set in stone. So okay, super, super, super cute, y'all. You wouldn't have to do this, but I just personally think that I like the look of that better. Put that one down too. Okay. Okay. So now it's good. I love that, y'all. I also thought it'd be really cute, and I decided not to do it because I didn't want to. But if you wanted to, you could either add, if you didn't want to use a light bulb sign like this, you wouldn't have to. I like the look of it because I think it matches our little, the light bulbs in our little guy. But you could have used a cricket or painted or something if you wanted. Like you could put like happy holidays, or I thought it would be cute if you put like, oh dear. But like, you could have done anything if you wanted to, but I just like how simple it is, and I don't really want anything else, because I think if you put, after I thought about it, I was like, I think if I add words here, it's going to be too busy here, and people are going to be more focused on, they're going to kind of like, usually when you see words, your eyes focus to the words because you want to read what it says, right? Like if there's a big, beautiful door and there's a sign on you're going to be like, what does the sign say, right? So I thought that if I had words here, and someone, the first instinct, I want their first reaction to be like, oh my God, look how cute that reindeer is, right? I didn't want them to be like, what does the sign say? So I kind of used this as an accent to this. So that's why I didn't put words on here, but you definitely would if you could, if you wanted to. I just was like, you know what? I don't want people to be worried about what this says. I kind of want this to be just kind of like it's like buddy, like it's teammate. It like helps this guy stand out more, kind of. So that's how I looked at it, but you might be like, you know what, I want words on there, or it needs words. Or you could have put a different sign on there. You could have put like a different sign on it. I don't have any to show you, but you could put anything on there. But I saw this in the store and I'm like, oh, I have that cute reindeer at home I want to use. So that's what I used. Like I said, the reindeer came from Designs by Jordan TX. The light bulb sign, and actually like a stake, came from Hobby Lobby. So be prepared, there's like a wood stick that's on the end of it. I cut it off already. And then the base came from Hobby Lobby. It's a 24-inch evergreen. And then just ribbon and picks. And yeah, you can embellish it however you want. And then mesh. But yeah, so I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, let me know in the comments below. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you guys enjoyed the tutorial, hit the subscribe button if you're brand new, and if you loved the video and you're looking forward to more videos. Also comment below if you got what you guys are wanting to see next, like more tutorials. I always get stuck on like what tutorials to do, so when you guys let me know below, it makes me want to do those for you, because I want to design and create content that you guys are going to want, right? Like I want you guys to like what I make. So let me know below, and until then, you guys, I will see you guys all later, and thanks for hanging out with me. Bye bye.